Hey there. We are back. It's summertime and we've been busy, but we are back for today's slate, Monday, July 7th. Hopefully you had a good 4th of July weekend, and hopefully we can help you win some cash on today's main slate for MLB DFS. I'm Kevin Roberts. That is Taylor Smith. We're going to break it all down for you. If anything we do here helps you out, please give this video a like and also consider subscribing to the channel. If you hit our Patreon, the link below this, you can get access to all of our picks and stacks and everything else we have to cover. MMA, WNBA are both in season. Just $5.99 a month, and you get access to our Discord as well. All right, let's get into it. First game here, Boston hosting the Rockies. Austin Gomber taking on Boston. Not great for him. On the other side, Richard Fitz taking on the Rockies. Obviously, the Rockies get a park downgrade, but Fitz is a pretty good matchup. I'm like pretty game for either side of this matchup. I definitely lean Boston, but both offenses look pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not getting to the pitching at all.
No.
Dick Fitz is not good, and he has a short leash. And, the Rockets get a park downgrade, but it's like a pretty small one. I think Fenway is the second best hitters park in the league for runs. So good environment for offense. I think Boston is going to be the natural lean for most people. Just, Gomber has a 5% strikeout rate against righties, I think, which is just unbelievable. Small sample, but that's insane for any major league pitcher. And I don't know. I don't think he's like the worst pitcher ever. I'm sure he's going to improve in that regard, but Boston looks good. There's really not a lot of great offense on the slate anyway. So I kind of think Boston's going to be pretty chalky, which is not great chalk. It's like guys like Romy Gonzalez and Rob Refsnyder and Carlos Narvaez. Like, these are not household hitters we're playing into chalk, but it is a good spot. Sedan Rafaela, also good numbers against lefties. So good stack. Don't mind Roman Anthony, lefty. And then I do like Colorado a decent amount. Fitz has been a little worse against lefties, but still a high barrel rate to righties. So Goodman from the right side, Jordan Beck has been pretty respectful overall. McMahon, the primary lefty there with Moniak, has pretty good power numbers too. So really don't hate Colorado either. It's a very good game for bats all around. Pitching can go die.
Yeah, 100%. I think we're probably aligned in the fact that I kind of lean Boston, like, for if you're looking for the safer option for sure. But when you factor in ownership, if Boston's really going to be super chalky, Colorado does call to me a little bit, but both look really good. Miami visiting Cincinnati. The Marlins do get a park upgrade. Jansen Junk taking on the Reds. That's not the worst matchup in the world, but it's not a good park. Brady Singer taking on the Marlins, who are better than we're accustomed to seeing. I'm okay with the pitching here, even though the park isn't great, but obviously the Marlins getting the park bump. A little bit interested in the fish here. How about you?
Yeah, I don't think Singer's a bad play. Like, he's kind of perked up a little bit in the strikeouts over the past month, but not a terrible Marlins offense. Really good park for power in particular. So Singer is a secondary play. Miami looks fine. It's just not a great offense still overall. Like, I'm fine with Ramirez and Stowers. I think they have good power. Jesus Sanchez, always cheap. So lefties historically have the advantage against Singer. Don't mind Miami. Cincinnati looks okay. I kind of think Cincinnati might be semi-chalk against Jansen Junk. So really don't like that overall. Like, I'm okay with Noel V. Marte as a salary saver. TJ Friedel, Ellie at the top. Matt McLean is cheap. But I don't love it. I think I slightly prefer Miami, but I do prefer the Fenway game overall.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you on Miami too. I mean, Jansen Junk, we don't really know because the sample size is kind of small, but like, he's not walking anybody. He's not giving up power to anybody. So maybe that will be bad regression for him in a short bit here, especially in this park. But I'm not super interested in the Reds, even though maybe I should be. Next one here, we got Dodgers visiting the Brewers. Yamamoto taking on the Brewers. Obviously, Milwaukee is not like super scary here, and he's been awesome all year. I guess if you want to attack him, you can do it from the right side. I don't have any interest in attacking him, but I also don't know if I really want to pay $10.5K, like a premium, to get him. There's a different guy in that price range I prefer today. Freddie Peralta on the other side against the Dodgers. He's good, and he's in particular very good at home, but it is the Dodgers. Like, they've not really been as great as they should be lately. So you can definitely play Freddie at 9K. I don't have a problem with that. And if you want to play Yamamoto 10.5, that's also okay. I just don't really feel like I want to do much with this game, weirdly.
I'm really on the pitching. I think Yamamoto is the best pitcher on the slate. He's been a bit better than DeGrom. I think the Angels, while they have more strikeouts, they also have more power. And I'm just not worried about Yamamoto like getting blown up by the Brewers. He is a reverse split righty, so he should fare well against guys like Yelich, Turang, Frelick from the left side. Again, it's an average strikeout matchup, but he does have about a 30% K rate on the year. So, and he's, I think, 200 less than DeGrom on DK. So, or he's more than DeGrom on DK. He's less than DeGrom on FanDuel. So he's my SP1. I prefer him overall to DeGrom on both sites. I think Peralta is okay. 9K is like a little bit of a discount. You mentioned the Dodgers haven't been great. They don't have Muncy. Teoscar Hernandez is also hurt, might not play tonight. Tommy Edman, same thing. So like the bottom half of that order is not imposing. So I do like Peralta more so for multi-entry. And you can always make a case for a Dodger stack. Like, obviously Ohtani is a one-off. Betts, Freeman, Pajes, and Teo if he's in the lineup. So I'm more on Freddie than the Dodgers. I'm more on Yamamoto than anybody else.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like Yamamoto is coming in like half as owned as DeGrom. So if you want to just take the ownership angle, like he's only $200 more. He does project a little bit better. I don't hate it. I'm not like, I don't feel excited about Yamamoto here. And I certainly don't feel excited about Freddie against the Dodgers, but you're right. Freddie is discounted. And of course the Dodgers are the Dodgers. They could easily open a can on Freddie. I don't know. Just to me today, I'm not super into anything here. Jose Barrios taking on the White Sox in Chicago. Not the best park for pitching, but the White Sox obviously are a decent matchup. Sean Burke taking on the Jays. They don't strike out at all. He has a lot of negative data in his profile. So the Jays look totally fine here if you want to pick on Sean Burke. On the other side, if Barrios is going to carry ownership, I don't mind going after Chicago, but it kind of just feels like I feel like the Chicago matchups always are a little bit trappy. And I don't think Barrios is that cheap either. What is he?
8.5.
8.5. I think if you want to play Barrios, you can. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like it's kind of trappy. And if he's going to carry ownership, I'm going to go stack up some Chicago bats a little bit here.
Yeah, I'm not on Barrios at all. I think you can get better production for cheaper on this slate. So he's kind of just in no man's land, 8,500. The White Sox are not as bad as they were last year either. Some power. They have some patience. Barrios has some walk issues, particularly against lefties. So I'm not on either pitcher in this game, to be clear. Toronto, I think, is up there with Boston as the top overall stack on the slate. Burke has had kind of a reverse right-handed split. So Vlad, Springer, Bichette look really good. Kirk from behind the plate. He's still not good against lefties, so I don't mind Nathan Lucas. Addison Barger, of course, has been raking all year. Joey Loperfido just got called up. Should be cheap from the left side as well. So that stack looks awesome to me. Chicago, like Vargas, I guess, Benintendi, Chase Mydroth, like an okay mini stack. I don't really think Barrios will be enough to make them great for leverage. So kind of a secondary multi-entry stack at best for me.
Yeah, I would only really want to do Chicago if Barrios picks up like 15-20% ownership. Even then, do we really have to go out of our way to create that leverage? I don't really think so. So for me, it's pretty much Jays or bust here. Moving on, we have the Royals hosting the Pirates. This is traditionally more of a pitcher-friendly park. So Andrew Heaney taking on the Royals and Noah Cameron taking on the Pirates. I mean, I just naturally lean towards the pitching here, but I'm not still that excited to play either pitcher. What about you?
Yeah, Cameron has gotten good results, but it looks pretty fraudulent. His underlying numbers are not very good. The strikeouts are under 20%. Pretty high walk rate against righties, over 10%. Not allowing a ton of power, but moderate ground ball rate. The Pirates are not imposing. Like, I think they've scored 0 runs more than any team in the league. But I think he's a little overpriced. Like I said with Barrios, I'd rather just pay 1K less for like Kikuchi, Bybee, maybe Colton Gordon to a lesser extent. So I am on the bats a little bit. Mostly Kansas City against Heaney, a guy who's always allowed right-handed power. This is not a good park for home runs, but this is a home run-prone pitcher. So I'll take my chances with Witt. Garcia, India, Perez. Don't mind Caglione from the left side. super cheap. And then for Pittsburgh, it's also the righties: Henry Davis, McCutchen, Brian Reynolds, Tommy Pham's okay. Definitely a decent secondary stack if Cameron's somewhat owned, kind of like the White Sox against Barrios, but mainly just KC bats here for me.
Yeah, Cameron and Barrios are both pulling like 10% ownership. If it stays there, I don't feel like I need to go out of my way in this park to pick on him. I think at 8-1, Cameron is a better play than Barrios. The Pirates do strike out almost 25% of the time. It is not a good park for power, as you said. So I think he's okay. I just don't really feel amazing about it. Heaney at 6.5 is like a SP2 punt. It's like not the worst thing in the world. Just not something I'm going to go out of my way to do. Like Royals are striking out more here in the projected lineup than they usually do. So I guess you could look at that. But I'm with you. If I did anything, it would probably be the Royals. This isn't a game I really like. Moving on, we got the Guardians in Houston against Astros. Tanner Bybee taking on Houston. He profiles really well. Top 5 projection for the slate, but I think that's more indicative of where the slate is at. On the other side, Colton Gordon. The Guardians cannot hit lefties at all. So I don't really love Gordon in a vacuum, but I think against Houston or against Cleveland here, Gordon does look okay. On the other side, Bybee just projects really well. But it feels like a trap. Like I think I actually do like the idea of getting some leverage here with some sprinklings of Astros.
Yeah, I think that's viable. He's going to be chalky, I would think. So like Altuve, Cam Smith, Isaac Paredes, did I say Cam Smith? Jake Myers, I think. So they're okay, but I'm just much more on Bybee. Like I think he's the most clearly underpriced pitcher on the slate, along with Kikuchi at just 7K. Like he's probably an 8K plus pitcher. We're getting a pretty significant discount. He's going to have the platoon edge over the vast majority of this lineup. It's really just Caratini and Hummel from the left side. So literal nonsense for the Astros without Yordan Alvarez. Just getting a ton of him. I wrote in the write-up that, I'm most likely to play like Yamamoto plus Bybee or DeGrom plus Bybee in single entry. I just think the discount's worth it. He's going to be chalky. I think it's reasonable chalk on this slate. I like the Guardians are really a horrible offense against lefties. Like Kwan and Ramirez, Santana, those guys don't strike out, but the bottom half of the lineup will, starting with Jonathan Rodriguez there in the number 6 hole. So you can make a case for Gordon. It's just that for 7K, Bybee has a much longer track record. I trust the strikeout stuff more. I don't know much about Gordon in terms of like how he's going to project long term. He's been much better against lefties. Cleveland only has 1 in the lineup tonight. So, same price. I'll just take Bybee as chalk. I don't mind J-Ram as a one-off against Gordon just because he's the one hitter there you kind of fear. So that's fine, but kind of just Bybee in this game for me.
Yeah, in your defense with Bybee, 7K, great price for an SP2. And also the only damage he's really been giving up on the year is all to lefties, and Houston has nobody from the left side right now. So if you want to just look at the data, like Bybee looks great. I just think as far as if the ownership sticks, he's coming in at what? Only like 15%, so it's not egregious. But if it gets inflated where he's like 20% or more owned, I don't have a problem with going after Astros a little bit. But no doubt about it, on this slate, he does look pretty good. Jacob deGrom going into LA facing the Angels. Obviously, that looks like a pretty good spot for him. Like you said before, they do have power, but they also have strikeouts, and he's been in pretty good form. And you say Kikuchi on the other side against the Rangers. The Rangers are just a bit of a punchless crew. And he's been really good. His velocity's been up lately, too. So I think due to price and matchup and everything, Kikuchi looks really good. But he's also going to be really owned. So if he's going to be super owned, I absolutely do not mind Texas stacks a bit here. Like Kikuchi chalk never works. It just never works. Kikuchi chalk is just always bad chalk. So I think I'm just going to lean into that. Like I do see what he's been doing lately and the price and all that, but Texas. I'm going Texas stacks today, I think.
I'm with you. It's kind of mainly like Kikuchi is a very similar play to Bybee. I think they're both clearly underpriced for the skills. The matchups are fine against the Texas teams. Kikuchi's been in better form. I think people will see the game logs and be like, well, Kikuchi, like I have to play him. He's 7-2. He should be 9K. And maybe he should be. And I do think he's a good play. I'll have some for sure, like over 10%, maybe around 20% of him. Could see him being even more owned than that, potentially. And Texas is cheap. Seager is the most expensive hitter at DraftKings at 4.3, Langford at 3.3 on FanDuel. So it's not a bad lineup. They haven't played well this season, but like Simeon, Garcia, even Seager, lefty, those guys have long histories of being good hitters. So I kind of trust the long-term numbers more than the short-term this season numbers. Ditto for Jake Berger's kind of come around a little bit, pretty cheap as well. Jonah Heim, pretty high in the order. I like that quite a bit. So Texas, as of now, is going to be my highest owned stack on the slate. DeGrom, I mentioned preferring Kikuchi, but I'm still going to have a lot of him. The Angels do strike out a ton. They have righty power. He hasn't really struck out righties that well, which is a little bit weird, but, it's DeGrom. He's reasonably priced. It's him and Kikuchi at the top. I'll have a lot of both.
Yeah, worth noting for sure. 21% whiff rate against righties, like you just said, like a 6% decline from the left side. But he's also not walking them either. 5% walk rate on both sides, and he's also giving up like no power to righties. So even if he's not going to get the whiffs against the righties, he'll probably just hold them in check, get some ground balls, or just get out of there. So I like him a lot, and that is the guy I would rather pay for today over Yamamoto. But I don't think you're doing it wrong if you go either way. But if you want to play the ownership game, he is double owned compared to Yamamoto. And Godspeed to both of us because we like the Rangers as a leverage play. All right, Zach Gallen and the Diamondbacks in San Diego taking on the Padres. On the other side, you do have Darvish making his 2025 debut. So I would imagine he's going to be pretty limited here. He is coming at 75 pitches. I don't really have any interest in him anyways because Arizona has Corbin Carroll back, and they are a tough matchup in general. Plenty of power, no strikeouts. They get on base. And on the other side, Gallen, I don't know, man. Like, it's good pitcher park. I feel like the Padres just have like 3 good players, and like they still seem to win a lot. I don't get it. They have like Tatis and like Merrill and Machado. Like that's it. Like I don't know. So if you want to play Gallen based off like talent and upside, you can. Like based off the park and what I just said, that's fine. I just think no pitching here for me. If you want to beat up on you in his first game back, you could. I just think this is a full cross off for me though.
Yeah, Darvish will be limited. No interest in him whatsoever. Gallen kind of bounced back a little bit in his last start, I think. But Padres, even if they're not a good offense, they don't strike out at all. Rise has a 2% strikeout rate. Bogarts, Sheets isn't even striking out. Cronenworth doesn't strike out. It's really just Brooks and Diaz at the bottom, and I guess Merrill a little bit. So fine, not nearly a priority at 78. Like I would just take Kikuchi and Bybee for less. I think Arizona's okay. The issue is they're just super expensive, and it is a pitcher-friendly park. But Carroll, Marte, Perdomo, Suarez, I think all look decent against Darvish. Like first game back, who knows how he'll be. It's going to see a lot of bullpen, which isn't ideal either. But I kind of like one-offing Carroll or Marte. But Arizona would be my priority from this game, but still not a priority relative to the slate.
Yep, agreed. All right, last game of the night, we got Phillies visiting the Giants. Christopher Sanchez taking on the Giants, and Landon Roop on the other side against the Phillies. Obviously, it is a pitcher-friendly park, so all that power coming from Philly, a little bit negated. So it doesn't really have me interested in Roop, though. I mean, if you want to go park and price, I think Roop is like kind of viable, but I don't want to do that. Sanchez, we know, has upside. Do not mind ending the night with Sanchez as a kind of an unowned high upside pitcher here. He comes in with like the 5th best projection, under 9K, kind of feels like a discount. So I think if I'm going to do anything here, you're not getting any leverage by just randomly stacking the Phillies in this park against Root. So that's not that appealing to me. I think just Sanchez going away from some of these other popular pitchers is probably the thing I would do.
Yeah, I see him pulling around 20%. So I feel like he's kind of trendy.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, it is picking up a little bit.
He's, I think, 10-8 on FanDuel, which is kind of insane. But like 8-8 on DK looks good. It's just
not going to play him there.
This slate, like Peralta is a little bit more. Bybee and Kikuchi project comparably for a lot less. So like I think he's a fine play. I just kind of feel like the price is not quite right relative to the others. So like I don't mind him individually. The Giants have been a strikeout team. It's a good park for pitching, obviously. He's been pretty good with ground balls as well. So like I don't expect him to get blown up, but the price is a little bit high for what I'm looking to spend on an SP2. I think Matt Chapman's a pretty good one-off just because he's 3,700. I think he's underpriced against Sanchez. The Phillies against Raup are interesting. He's been pretty mediocre against lefties. They have the 2 big ones at the top, Schwarber and Harper. Kind of just a mini stack, though. Like Trey Turner's expensive. The rest of the lineup's not super imposing. So I don't mind those 2 lefty bats, but in general, bats in San Francisco is not something you want.
Yeah, I just think because like a lot of what they do is predicated on their power. He's not giving up a lot of power, plus the park kind of suppresses power. It just feels like not really a spot. But low-owned Phillies, how often is that a thing, right? So this is a good spot as far as just pure ownership on a stack that's going to be kind of overlooked to close out the night. So I like the 3-man stack idea for that, going under a chalkier a stack. All right, so that's going to do it for us. Nice to be back and talk shop for MLB DFS. Hopefully this helps you out a little bit, helps you with your process. If you want finalized picks for the pitchers and our favorite stacks, you got to head over to Patreon/Discord to get access to that. Already put up WNBA core plays for tonight as well on Patreon and Discord. So definitely take advantage of that. Just $5.99 a month to do all that. And if we do help you out in this video, give it a like, give us a subscribe, and hopefully we can help you win. All right, thanks for watching and good luck.